I'm Jim Peterson. I'm the founder of Lumagen. My background is in electronics engineering and mathematics. I have degrees in those from college and also some computer science in college as well. I started working in the computer graphics field basically in 1979, so I've been in this business for a while. And then we did 2D graphics, then 3D graphics. I founded a 3D graphics company for circuit boards and did a lot of design. My designs have had always high-speed transmission line based circuit board design. For 40 years I've been doing those circuit boards for very high speed, which is very important for HDMI because of the very high-speed differential transmission line designs. Well, in 2001, when I had my CRT projector-based home cinema that I built, I was very unhappy with the quality of the image. And the video processors available that weren't super expensive were not doing what I wanted them to do. So what I did was decide that I could do a good job and make a video processor that I was satisfied with, that we could then sell for a cost-effective use in home cinema. NLS we started in 2004. 2004 was when 16 by 9 TVs and projectors became common. You had 4 by 3 content. People said, I want to fill my screen. And so we were able to do that. We made it programmable so that the user could choose how much stretching, if there's any cropping, how big the center section was. So we came up with ways to dial that in, and people really enjoyed that nonlinear stretch to fill their screen. Well, in 2014, we were working with our 2000 series of models that we had, the 2042, 2041, which were the 2042 had analog sources, and we were transitioning into a pure digital video processor. And that was the time frame when we added auto aspect. Because a lot of sources were still analog, our auto aspect had to work both with digital sources and with analog sources. So we had some hysteresis in the algorithm in 2014 to allow for the noise and the variations that we saw in analog sources. So since 2014, our products have all had auto aspect. We introduced the Radiance Pro 4K processors in 2015. In that time frame, we added geometry control to be more accurate for 4K for your projector. With the auto aspect, we could then automatically select the aspect ratio for the client, so they didn't have to manually select the aspect ratio. We added the Radiance Pro 5000 series to make the jitter as low as possible to improve the audio, and we're actually seeing some improved video because of the ultra low jitter and the low electrical noise in the 5000 series. When we came out with the Radiance Pro, I chose a field programmable gate array, which is logic that we can reprogram, that was only half full when we introduced the product. That turned out to be a very good idea because we've been able to add features like dynamic tone mapping, which has been a very major improvement for home theater because of the HDR10 content. And we were able to do that so well that it's actually being used in a major movie studio to do their video editing. Very recently, we added compatibility with Dolby Vision, LLDV, low latency Dolby Vision, so that you could watch Dolby Vision versions of the movie or HDR10 versions of the movie. The Dolby Visions can actually be better than the HDR10 because they have a 12-bit total depth and can be in 422, which is a higher resolution chroma format. So if the content is mastered that way, you can actually see some improvement with Dolby Vision. We've recently introduced screen masking control for CMOS Screen Excellence masking systems, whether it's a 4-way, 2-way, or 1-way. This can be directly controlled now with the Lumagen, so you don't need a control system if you have a masking system. The Lumagen can directly control the CMOS screen. We plan on adding support for masking systems from other vendors, such as Stewart film screens, and we will be doing that over time in the future so that we can directly control the screen masking, simplifying systems. So what the Lumagen really is, it's a central control where once you get it set up, the Lumagen does all its control in the background, so the customer sits down and press play and they get to view their content in their home cinemas to the best possible quality, such that the Lumagen's actually being used in a major studio for evaluating the post-production quality for home releases. And so our goal has been realized in that with the Radiance Pro, you see what the director intended. Five or 6 years ago, we wanted to build a home cinema that was reference quality so that we can work and show and see as we intended it to be viewed in everyone's home cinema. So we built this theater to do that with a Studio Tech 130 from Stewart Film Screens. It's a 14-foot diagonal, 2.40 aspect ratio screen. So we have a solid screen and we have a speaker below for center channel and 2 side channels. These are Revel speakers, the center C208 and Revel F206s. And then we have surrounds that are also Revel in-walls. This is a 7.2.6 Atmos theater, 12-foot high ceiling, so we can actually do the Atmos and meet the Atmos criteria for the design. At this time, we have the Lumagen Radiance Pro 5244 in our theater. No surprise. We also have a Trinoff Altitude 16 for our audio processing, custom calibrated for audio by Adam Pells. We have the Trinoff power amplifiers. We have a Strato V from Kaleidoscape for our movie server with a Tera server, a 40 terabyte server. We have an Apple TV, we have an Oppo 203, and our projector is a JVC NZ9, also called the RS4100. So we have a theater that was designed with a balance for the viewing quality, but also for the environment to be decorator friendly. So we have, if you see, you can see there's a band of 4-inch thick acoustic treatment for first reflections. We have one on the ceiling as well, so that we can deal with the first reflections, very thick carpeting, nice seating, home theater seating, so that we can have 10 seats in this theater and have some of our friends with us. Very custom design. We have kind of a very subtle castle theme in that we have some beams, we have the pillars, and we have sconces that were custom built for us. So it's a nice environment, but the key here is the very best in video using the Lumagen and the JVC NZ9 with the Studio Tech 130 screen, and the very best in audio quality with the Trinoff custom calibrated for video and for audio. So we sit here and enjoy it, and I spend a lot of time in the theater. I work here a lot because I can then do evaluations. We're constantly looking at improving the video, and by doing it in the theater, we see what the director intended, and I'm at viewing distance when I'm doing my evaluation. As a consumer, that's where you need to do your evaluation, on an actual screen with the projector and screen, if possible, that you plan to use at the distance you plan to sit away from the screen. That is the way to do calibration or evaluation and do your deciding what quality that you want to get, which projector is the quality that you need that fits within your budget. We do recommend that you consider putting the Lumagen first in your budget and then taking your budget that's left for the projector. With a Lumagen, you're going to get the best out of any projector. Often we find our customers will buy a Lumagen and a slightly less expensive projector and get a better picture than if they had spent that entire budget on a projector. So that's what we recommend. This is our great theater. We're really enjoying it, and thank you for your time. So here I'm working on the back layer of the Artisan FPGA circuit board. So we have two circuit boards in the Artisan, the switchboard, which will do all the 8K switching, 4K 120, 8K, and then it sends the video to the FPGA, which processes the video, sends it back to the switchboard to go up one of the two outputs. The Artisan will have 8 inputs and 2 outputs, but the central processing for the video is done in the FPGA. What I'm showing here is the Artisan Field Programmable Gate Array circuit board, one of 2 boards in our Artisan product. The Artisan we introduced it at CEDIA for 2025 release. So we're working on this FPGA board. The Field Programmable Gate Array gives the horsepower that we need to do 8K 60 and up to 4K 120 for gaming. So this product is very optimized for gaming. We have a Genlock feature. The Genlock takes the input to the output and makes it a fixed delay. And with that, we can set a game mode where we have only a 3 millisecond delay for gamers. So what the plans are is you'll do 4K 120, 3 milliseconds delay with all processing enabled in the Artisan so that gamers can get the best performance, use aspect ratio control if they want, and be able to see it on their screens in their cinema, or if they have a TV, they can do it on their television or monitor. So the Artisan is a product that will be produced in 2025. We have the switchboard, we have working on the FPGA board, and we're very, very excited to be able to bring this 8K product to the marketplace in 2025.
Today I've been working on some changes to the LLDV feature that we've just recently added. That's for Dolby Vision coming from the player. And so we've been adding some new fields into our EDIT here in the menu. And we're hoping to get it out soon. It's got a bug fix as well. So
okay.
I guess some of the Panasonic players and the Amazon Fire Stick were not talking correctly to us and turning.
He was one of the programmers who worked on the feature with the SAMR screens to control the masking directly.
Right. So we just finished that up, and yeah, we're controlling all their masking. We've got all their different aspect ratios. We auto detect it, and then we send the RS-232 codes over to the Seymour motor, and they set the masks up. So, yeah.
Is there coming something more in the next time?
Yeah, and then we're looking at adding more masking controls for Stewart masking systems.
Yes, cool.
So we will be doing that soon.
Okay. I see here different monitors. Can you explain what are you doing here? Why are you watching here content on different...
So I'm testing this update. This is a Dolby Vision video, and I'm testing the update with 2 video outputs and the audio output all working simultaneously. Just making sure that we don't have any problems driving both of them at the same time.
Okay, cool.
Now we are in front of the 4 production lines. Please let us know with a few words what exactly is producing here.
Okay, we're here at Cascade Systems Technology. Cascade works to do our assembly for us under contract basis. So we have them, we bring all the parts, the circuit boards, and they actually do the surface mount technology reflow in here, which you can see the machines behind us. They have 4 lines of reflow machines, and so they can do the circuit boards. This is a fairly good sized circuit board that they do for us for our production. This is actually the Artisan switchboard. So it's one of our latest builds, and they do the assembly, all the surface mount technology, 2-sided surface mount technology here for us for all our products, and have for many years. So here we have the carts with reels set up for Lumagen. They're between builds. They built some boards for us that we are going to check, and then they're going to build the rest. So we're going to qualify the boards, and then these reels are all for Lumagen circuit boards. And then when it goes through the reflow machine up here, heats the circuit boards up in a controlled fashion, and then they cool them down with an appropriate profile of heating and then cooling for the circuit boards, and they come out this other end, and they're going to do their inspections to make sure that they're all good.
Derek, can you tell us in a few words what are you working on?
Yeah, here at Lumagen we build everything to order, and so this department is basically we construct everything by hand. I do some hand soldering to finish the boards, and we then move on to other departments to do test and finalization. We have a construction house that does most of the assembly for our electronics. We do a bit of soldering here, and then we do final construction in-house based on what people are ordering, the configurations that they want. And so everything goes through the station and is all handcrafted, hand constructed and tested and made sure it's ready to go out. After we build the units in our construction department, we bring them over here to do initial testing to make sure everything's working. We let them burn in overnight just to make sure that they're running properly when heated. And then we do final testing and just to be thorough so everything's working for our customers as we ship them out. This is the final step before we ship it out to customers. We just do physical inspection to make sure there's no damage to the unit, no scratches or anything like that. I do just a basic cleaning, pack it up with its kit to send out and put it in a box, and then it's ready to be shipped out to customers at our shipping station.
Here is where I do my technical work. If I'm going to test a unit, I can have access to the oscilloscope where I can read the signals. What I was just looking at was the HDMI clock and data. And we use various power supplies so we can check how much power that the unit's using at various input rates and output rates. Here is where if we get a bad unit, I'll bring it here and I'll test it. And
so
then I can
so this is not a new unit, so this is one you get back?
Yes, if we have, yes. So for production, usually we test in the production area.
Yes, I saw that with Derek already.
If there was a problem with the unit when we first build it, then he'll bring it back to me, and then I will look at it here, determine what's wrong, or sometimes Derek does, he can do board swap, but I can actually look at signals on the board, check the power supplies, check the various signals, to see what's wrong and see if it's something we can repair.
Okay, and what is that for?
Okay, so a microscope is to see the very fine pins. We have some very fine leads. And
gotcha.
so I actually have a magnifying lens, depending on the size, or I can use the microscope.
Gotcha, okay.
We also have a very good cable tester I'll show you before you leave. That we do, if we have a cable, if someone buys a cable from us, we actually test it on this Quantum Data 780D. It has a pathologically worst case test pattern. So if it passes here, then we know it's a good cable, and we are very adamant that you need the absolute best cables. So having them tested before you put them in your system is a very good idea.
So Jim, we are at the end. I'm so happy to see all of that, and I think it's an exciting video also for our customers. Thank you very much for showing me behind the Lumagen walls.
Well, thank you very much for coming and allowing us to show you what we do here at Lumagen. We do manufacture here in the United States. We have an assembly house who does our circuit board they stuff them and build them for us, and we have a case manufacturer also that builds our cases for here, and we do our final assembly here as you saw.
Yeah, very exciting, very interesting. So I say goodbye for now, but I will come back.
Very good.
So
Thank
bye.
you. See
Bye,
you
Jim.
soon.